Welcome, welcome. It's the cats. We on intellectual radio. We on iHeart Radio, and we on Facebook Live many a times. And we here ready to let the cat out the bag.
Meow. And where's the cat?
Meow, meow. Now you know what? As soon as I start going live, somebody just decided on to call me at the time when I'm recording and going live. For those people who see my broadcast, you know better. You know not to call me during showtime. Have you lost your mind? Don't call me. So listen, let me just say this, y'all. I can't even make this stuff up, but today's show is really, really going to be a great show. And when I tell you it's a great show, I mean that humbly, because we're going to be talking about Tasha and the Power. Most of you guys, if you don't watch Power, I had never watched Power before myself. But I tell you what, when I saw Power, it literally gave me like, wow, it's a lot of stuff going on. If you had a husband and he pulled a ghost on you, would you handle it like Tasha is handling her business, or how would you handle a man that's pulling a ghost on you? Um, we're also going to be talking about a issue that's kind of going on in Bellwood. We're going to give that, you guys a chance to hear some, from somebody from Bellwood that want to let a cat out the bag. And for any of you guys that may have a store, that may have something that you want to kind of put on blast and let the cat out the bag about it, we encourage you to call into the studio or to let us know about an experience that you may have had. Let the cat out the bag on somebody today. And but listen, this is what I want y'all to do. For those of you all that's tuning in, hit the share button now. Share this video, share this story, because it's gonna be great. Vaughn, thanks for tuning in. I see you, girl. We got to talk about that Kings and Queen event you guys got going on. So again, what we're gonna do is we're gonna kick our show off like we always do. We have Miss Monique in the building.
Hey, everybody.
Hey. And you know what? Yeah, we short staffed today. I'm not sure where all the other cats at. The other cats is missing in action. But you know what? I always say this, and I can't say it enough, as humble as I possibly can. The universe knows exactly who needs to be in the studio at the right time. So the show always go on. So to all our cats that's missing in action, meow. We see you. We see you. So again, you guys, and cover. Well, first of all, Monique, let me do this because I know I'm off track. Tell me what's going on with you, girl. How's everything going in your world?
I'm just disgusted about how the young lady had gotten killed the other day by that car accident.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody need to be responsible. And these police officers need to know that they cannot do high-speed chases. There's other people out there. Do they think about the other pedestrians, who's crossing the street, who's driving? All of that. It's just very disturbing.
Very disturbing.
And I just cannot wait to see the outcome of it, because there's so much to that story. I know it is.
And you know what? And for those of you all that want to call in today with questions and comments about that, we want to hear from you as well, because we know that you guys may kind of want to, talk about that. We've had a lot of feedback, and I've seen a lot of people talking about it. So if you want to call in, the number for you to call in is 708-223-8953. Again, 708-223-8953. So you can call in about that as well. But other than that, I tell you what, and I'm gonna go ahead and just say this off GP, concerning Tasha and concerning Power and Ghost. If I had to deal with a ghost, first of all, I would say I'm glad that he has enough money in his account to be able to afford to take care of more than one household, take care of more than one relationship. I think my problem come in when you have men that want to have multiple relationships but don't have enough money to take care of everybody.
That's right.
So it's like, how could you pull a ghost and you broke?
You can't.
Yeah. But
you know what? On there, he didn't take care of that woman like that.
He didn't take care of who?
He didn't take care of Angela like that. Angela had her own thing going.
Well, exactly. But what I'm saying is that he didn't have to take away from the house.
No,
So,
he did
and
not.
so Tasha and her household, the bills are being paid. They ain't missing a beat. And then they study making gangster moves together.
Yeah.
My problem is that you got these guys out here that want to play side dip, but they want to take car note money. They want to take half the mortgage money. They want to take monies that they don't have, robbing Peter to pay Paul, and they can't afford to do so. And then side dips, they want new gym shoes. They want to be able to go get, something from Victoria's Secret. Or every now and again, they want to stop, having sex in the backseat of the car and be able to have it at the Hilton or somewhere. So if that be the case, that money has to come from one place and, go to another place. So my thing is that if you're gonna have a side
You
dick,
have
you
a
need
lot
to.
of sad. These women, some of these side chicks get treated better than these wives are. To be honest with you.
Exactly. And that's my
And then
problem.
they taking, like you said, they taking straight from the house, from the kids, from everything. My thing is, if you don't want to be there, get on up out of there. And that's what he did.
And that's what I'm saying.
That's what he did, but he had to go back. So would you let him in? Hmm. My answer to that is because he was a provider, he still provided for them, and they had so much going on together that whatever happens to him, it would affect her. I would have did the same thing she did. That's just my personal opinion. I have to put however I feel to the side because the kids, they all, they knew what was going on. They was older kids. So I would have did exactly what she did, but she should have been beat that lady down a long time ago. That's what she didn't do.
Now, Angela don't look like she just necessarily no easy win talking about beating her down because she knows she a FBI.
So
You know,
she's been missing something.
yeah,
Just like Greg.
Yeah, you know what? I'm in agreement. I
She's
think
been missing like Greg been missing.
Yeah, I think I'm in agreement with you. So again, you guys, our lines is open and feel free to call in. Again, the number is 708-223-8953. Call in. Let us know how would you handle that situation. I mean, you dealing with a ghost. You're dealing with a ghost. We're talking about power. You're dealing with a ghost, and which is James. What's his name? James
St. Patrick.
James St. Patrick, right? You're dealing with a whole James St. Patrick at your household. And how would you handle it like Tasha? Because I'm gonna tell you something. I got to give Tasha a little credit. I think she kind of handling her business like a gangster chick.
Yeah.
She done got over the fact that he got a side dip, and what she decided to do was say, okay, I don't cried about the fact that you cheated long enough. Now she done went out and got her side dip, so she done tasted the water on both sides. Now it's just business as usual with her. She's like, okay, let's handle our business. Let's take care of our children. Let's get on this money. I need you living. I need you breathing. I need everything. Check your side chick. I mean, what's up with it? She ain't right. She done locked you up. What's wrong with her? She out of place. And then even the way that when she came across Angela when they had to meet up. And Angela all up in her house trying to see what her husband's sleeping at, and this, that, and the third. Is he? He was in another bedroom. Yeah.
Did you see how she looked at that house like, damn, he had me in a box?
No, she had herself in the box.
She had herself in the box, but that house is bad, and she was looking like,
Yeah. And then he had another bedroom, and then like Tasha said, yeah, he got another bedroom because I ain't want him to bring none of them bed bugs from your house. You over there with them bed bugs, and my husband got to come home over here to this castle. Yeah, he on the couch. That's what you thought he was gonna be. And the only time he get off the couch is if I call him in for some, because she Tasha a bad chick too. So again, and you guys, I see you guys commenting, but we need you to call in and give us your feedback. 708-223-8953. If you are married to a ghost, or if you ever been in a relationship with a ghost, how do you handle him? And then the side piece to that question is, men, stop trying to be having all these multiple relationships and you broke. You can't do that. Because you robbing Peter to pay Paul, you end up with a soul Peter and no Paul. Because at the end of the day, you're gonna mess around, both chicks gonna be gone. Because I'm gonna tell you something, and this is just real talk. I realize that main chicks make men have a little extra money to do side dip stuff. So when main chick can be able to take care of a household, then the side dip get a chance to like you said, do some things. They take care of the side dip a whole lot better because they realize that they got extra monies to do so. And then they do extra little things. Side dip just want to be able to say, okay, take me on a mini vacation. And I'm not going to say this guy's name because I had this conversation, but it's a guy that he uses his friend and tell his, act like him and his friend going on vacation together. But instead, this guy takes his side dip on a vacation and pretend like he's on vacation with his friend. Now, that's a bit much. That's a bit much. So again, you guys, we want to hear from you. Amanda, I see you. Thanks for tuning in. Good morning, Dwayne. I see you. I see you. I see you. Stephanie, Mark, I see you. Thanks for tuning in. So we want to hear from you guys. Don't just tune in and leave comments because I'm not going to read all of these comments. I want to hear you. 708-223-8953. Again, that number 708-223-8953. I'm going to give you guys a chance to think about that. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and take a quick music break. But when we come back, if you don't call in, I'm going to call a few people and I'm going to put you on blast. Y'all know how. If I have to call you, believe me, I'm going to call a few people. It's the Cats. We on Intellectual Radio. We on iHeart Radio. And we on Facebook Live many a times. And we here ready to let the cat out the bag. Meow, meow.
I've been lost, I've been tired, but I feel with desire. Somehow I know that it's all gonna change. Everything's gonna change. Big city lights, big city dreams. It's the sound of the city that wakes me. So many people living with the blues. So many things that I can tell you. I got this funny feeling that something's going down. I can almost hear the sound going boom, 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 going round. No matter what I do, no matter what I say, seems like no one is happy. People living without a voice. Seems like no one really has a choice. I feel free and lost at the same time. Feels like I'm gonna lose my mind. Living every day like it's my last. Living in the truth I learned from my past. I've been tired, but I feel with desire. Somehow I know that it's all gonna change. Everything's gonna change.
Welcome back. It's the Cats. We on Intellectual Radio. We on iHeart Radio. And we on Facebook Live many a times. And we here ready to let the cat out the bag. Meow, meow, meow. So, Monique, again, I got the spotlight on you, girl. Again, you say that if you were in Tasha's position, how exactly would you handle the whole situation?
The exact same way she's handling it right now.
Same.
Only because he still was providing for the household, even though he was gone, and they had too much business together. And the kids. That's the only reason why. And after that, we done. I have to put him to a little bit of a distance.
Okay. Yeah. Now, you know what? And I want to say this. I want to add this too, because even though we're talking about a movie and Power, we know that this is actually real life.
Yeah.
We know that this is real life. And when I'm talking about real life, there's a lot of Tashas around right now.
I wouldn't do it right now in my real life. If it was to happen to me, no, hell no. As a Friday, especially, heck no.
Well, when I say it's a lot of people in this situation right now. You got women that are still committed to their marriage because we're again, and I can't say this enough. Again, we're taught that a wise woman builds her house, a foolish woman tears it down. So you need to know when to be wise, and then you need to know when to tear stuff down. You need to know when to be wise. You need to know when to be foolish. So some of you guys, you really can't even afford to leave your relationship because a man may, or a woman sometimes may go out and decide that they're going to do something that's crazy. You know, sometimes you just got to let people get their row out. You got to let people do what it is that they do. Sometimes, you know, people go through a transitioning point in their life and they end up finding themselves doing something that they, you know, just feel like they need to do. It may be a part of their bucket list. Who knows?
I've
You
done
know,
that before where I had to go back, and so somebody came to me for help. I ain't gonna say no names, but they know who they are, and I helped them because that's just me. That's the loyal side of me.
mm-hmm,
But then it's like it ain't the first time I did it. But right now, because they showed that they so disloyal,
mm-hmm.
they can't be trusted. So no, I would not do it. Not even for my kids. I would not do it. I'm saying no. No. So if you hear this, no, don't ask me to do nothing else. And I am no longer loyal. Not to that person.
No longer law.
No.
Well,
I don't
well,
care what we get together, who we get with, whatever. This no more.
okay.
Because I don't if I sing the same in return for certain things, that's different. But no, I don't think so. Now
Okay.
we can always say what you really can't say what you will not do. But I'm saying no.
Okay.
I really feel strongly about that right now. I'm saying no.
Okay.
In my
And,
real life, no.
and you know what? I can respect that because you know the law of attraction say you attract you get what it is that you attract. So a lot of times just because you constantly sacrifice and decide that it's okay, then guys know that is okay for them to play those types of games. Men know who to play games with. They know when not to. It's a season for everything. So sometimes you got to put your foot down and say, yeah, I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm done.
I see a couple of people saying that they have been in Tasha's shoes before. Sheila, do you want to call in? Call in at 708-223. What is that?
8953.
8953.
So
You
again,
ain't got to
seven.
tell everything, just tell a little bit.
Yeah.
Come on
So
and call in.
so
Anybody.
yeah. So again, if you're one of those women where you know you had to hold the camp down, and you know even we're relating to power and what's going on right now with power with Tasha and Ghost and her family. You know, if some side chick come on with a drama causing you know a disruption in your house, how would you handle it? And if you've had to handle it before, give some advice. Or if you've been married for a while and if you know the struggles that husband and wife go through, maybe it's somebody that's listening or that will hear this video that could literally take strength in your message today. So just share. It don't necessarily have to be something that you personally went through, but just share it because you got, you know, an opinion about it. Again, phone number 708-223-8953. I'm going to give you guys a few seconds to call in, and then
Somebody got a
after that,
story.
we're going to start
One of
just
you men,
randomly
y'all want to
selecting
tell on
people to
yourself
add into
today?
our video. All right, you guys.
Come on, call in. You can tell on you ain't got to tell on
Now,
yourself, tell a friend story.
now the flip side to that, while we're waiting, the flip side to this story is, you know, I'm gonna jump in and ask for those people that's in Chicago, if you guys, because we just had a young lady, and this is just news, and we can do what we want to do on the Cats Out show, but we just had a event here in Chicago where it was a high speed chase from one police officer to the next police officer, and a lady was actually uh, involved in the accident and it is deceased as a result of. If you guys even want to give comments on that, because I think that, you know, it should be a law, and the only way for us to pass this law that there should not be a high speed chase going on throughout the neighborhood is for people to pass a law. If you can't catch them, you can't chase them.
They doing it on the expressway. They going out of their jurisdiction to
Yeah.
chase these people out like that.
Yeah,
and this ain't the first time that these police have done this and hurt somebody. But you know, this was really bad this time.
well,
Somebody else that was not even involved, a whole innocent person, is dead. And this lady, you know, she just lost another daughter prior to that,
and
and her
again,
brother. So it's like, my God.
yep. Well, and again, like you said, it's not the first time that it has
No.
taken place. But at some point of time, we got to be willing to do something about it. So I think that, if you got an opinion about that, you can share your opinion as well about that. We're going to give you guys just a couple of more minutes to call in. And then after that, we're going to change the topic. We have someone, in the building today that want to let a cat out the bag about an incident that's going on here in the Bellwood area. And we're going to allow them to let a cat out the bag about what's going on in the Bellwood area, inform some other people, let the cat out the bag, let the rat out the bag, whatever they do. But we want to give them an opportunity to do that. And if any of you guys, have a store that you want to put on blast, have an experience or something that you want to put on blast, you feel free to call in or make arrangements to come into the studio so that you can do so. Okay. So again, let's see. Turn that cat around. Hello, this is Vera Giles Norris from the Cats Out Show. How can I help you?
Hi, this is Sheila.
Hey, Sheila, tell us who you are and where you're calling from, please.
Sheila.
Hey, sister. Sheila. I'm from Chicago.
Okay, go ahead, Sheila.
And I was going to comment on being a Tasha. No, not today. I would not be a Tasha. But back in the day, I'm from Mississippi, and I know there was some Tashas back then. So, men had two families, and that second family knew their place. They knew that the first wife had all the rights, and that second wife did not say anything the second family didn't say anything to that first family because they had no rights. He just, had kids and another woman on the side. I know this because of my grandfather. He did this.
Wow. So you said, well, you know what? Let me ask this because I haven't watched Power enough. Did Angela say anything to the wife or make any connection?
No, they didn't say anything. Even if they went to the same stores or went to the same churches, it was just a place. You knew your place. It's just like how you have to raise your kids. You know what to do and when to do it. You didn't say anything to this one.
Yeah,
you didn't say anything to these kids. You let the man handle everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, and you know what? There are relationships and families that's going through that type of thing right now. Whereas they may know exactly who the side dip is, or they may know exactly what's going on, and they choose to do one or two things: either not deal with it at all, meaning that I don't have a clue. I'm not doing any research. I don't know what the dip look like. I don't know what the side dip look like. They better not reach me. Or in some other cases, the side that word too, because this is not just a woman or men that go out and dip. Women do the same thing. So again, there are relationships where that's happening and one never crosses the other. My thing is, as long as they could stay in their place, it's fine. I just have a problem with men trying to play the side dip game and they ain't got ghost money.
But you know what happens when he died?
Now that's the thing with it being today. Have some out here that's trying to be ghost today can't afford to be a ghost.
No. And what happens when he died? Who gets the money?
The wife. The wife always come up.
But you know what? What about all the kids? He got kids over here. He got kids over there.
Sometimes those kids will be mentioned on the obituary, and sometimes they won't.
I said put an insurance policy on it.
It's up to that first wife how she feeling. If she want to add them, let people know he got the outside kids. 9 times out of 10, everybody know anyway.
Yes.
Well,
and you know what? I'm gonna be honest. I've seen a side dip that when the guy died, the side dip had an insurance policy too and got paid real well. Mm-hmm. Now y'all know I ain't playing. I ain't the one to gossip, but I'm telling you. So some side dips have insurance policies because as long as there is a mutual agreement, a side dip can have an insurance policy on her man. Okay. Yeah.
Sure can.
So that's how I go. Hey, Sheila, thanks for calling in. We appreciate you. Much love.
No problem.
All right.
All right, you guys. So again, you heard it. You heard it. I tell you what we're getting ready to do is we're gonna go ahead and change some things around here today. Thank you guys, and still feel free to leave your comment. But we're going to bring up a guest and at least give them an opportunity to talk about, let a cat out the bag on some things that's happening in the Bellwood district, and even some things that maybe some of you guys may want to hear about or can learn something from. Is because guess what? It's not just going on in the Bellwood district. This may actually be going on, in your district as well. And it's just things that you may not know. So again, we're going to come back. And when we do, we're going to let the cat out the bag. But this is the Cats. We on Intellectual Radio. We on iHeart Radio. And we on Facebook Live many a times. And we here ready to let the cat out the bag.
Meow.
I've been lost, I've been tired, but I feel with desire. Somehow I know that it's all gonna change. Everything's gonna change. Big city lights, big city dreams. It's the sound of the city that wakes me. So many people living with the blues. So many things that I can tell you. I got this funny feeling that something's going down. I can almost hear the sound going boom, 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 going round. No matter what I do, no matter what I say, seems like no one is happy. People living without a voice. Seems like no one really has a choice. I feel free and lost at the same time. Feels like I'm gonna lose my mind. Living every day like it's my last.
Welcome. We're back. It's the Cats. We on Intellectual Radio. We on iHeart Radio. And we on Facebook Live many a times. And we here ready to let the cat out the bag.
Meow.
Meow, meow. We have a special guest in the building with us today, and we just got to thanks for you letting the cat out. We're like that. We just got a few house rules. The first thing is that you got to give us a roar, a meow, or something, but we need you to release that cat. Let your cat out. Meow, meow.
And a meow.
Ooh, that's a cat right there for you. Now, tell our people, who are you, where you come from, and what you're doing here today.
My name is Marilyn Thurman. I'm a resident of Bellwood for 30 years. I also sit on Bellwood School District 88 board. I have sat on that board for 20 years.
20 years sitting on the board.
Yes, I have been elected 5 times.
Now, is that a paid position?
No, it's not. It's volunteer.
Volunteer. Ooh, now you know what? Now that's great. And I'm gonna tell you something. First of all, that is to be commended, because anybody who sit on a board and volunteer and do anything has a passion for what it is that they're doing. Not only a passion, you got to be knowledgeable so you can teach some people some things about a school board. Is that right?
I've been told I should write a book.
Okay. Okay, write a book. Tell us what information would you like to share with us today, and what cat you're letting out the bag?
I basically want to let the public know and the residents of Bellwood know the injustice that's being done to several of our employees in School District 88. Our superintendent, Rosemary Hendricks, has been put on administrative leave as of May 11th. She was put there with no charges. And as to date, no charges has been presented to her, which sounds to me kind of fishy, because normally you'll give a person a couple of charges pending an investigation. What I see now is an investigation is going forth. You're trying to build something because you didn't have anything in the beginning. We also have an employee, Ms. Green, has been at that district for 20 years and has diligently worked hard for School District 88. She's being told now, after all her hard work, go back to the school. We're going to cut your pay by $60,000.
So, wait a minute. Now, you know what? You just made me almost choke. Now, let me ask you a question. First of all, what does Miss Green do there?
Miss Green is our Title I coordinator. She handles grants. She has a multiple of duties. She's our assistant business manager. This lady has 2 MBAs. Very knowledgeable of what she do. At one time, before she even had this position, Miss Green used to buy scarves, hats, and gloves for some of our students in School District 88. They used to come to school in the wintertime with nothing. That's how dedicated she was to the children of School District 88.
And so now you're saying that it's Miss Green is the one that they're talking about cutting $60,000 from her pay?
Yes, they're telling her to go back into the school as a secretary and start working for $19.21 an hour. This is what you do to a person who has dedicated and given 20 years of her life in School District 88. Never heard that before. Never has been done before.
How many people are taking the $60,000 cut?
None that I know of. He's increased. Our interim superintendent, Mr. Holder, has created positions that we've never had in School District 88. He's created over $300,000 in new positions that is not needed in School District 88.
Wow.
Okay. Wow.
So what is that other district? What is it? 84. Did you know anything about that woman that was down there that she sat on one of those seats and she stole all of that?
Yes,
money?
I read that in the paper. She was a school board member, and now she's being charged.
Is she in jail?
Yeah, she was
See,
charged.
they've been on some mess for a long time now.
Right. But I guess what I want the public to know is that we have a superintendent that we brought back, and we're not where we want to be, but the test scores has improved. She's put technology in all of our students' hands. We had an HR person, wonderful lady, Dr. McCaskill, that she actually taught at Concordia University. She taught law as far as personnel. She taught an ethnic class. They told this lady to go home. To go home. For what reason? The reasons that they came up with was bogus. Said that she was working 2 full-time jobs in Harvey. They know this is not to be true. Dr. McCaskill brought in her contract, and the mayor out there was contacted. And he told this person that she did not have a full-time job. She worked part-time. But my question is, even if she had 2 full-time jobs, she could have got off that job at 4 o'clock and wouldn't work that night. You know, as long as she's there doing what she's supposed to do. But what I see is political retaliation. We have multiple lawsuits that's being, right now, filed against the school district. That's going to cost the taxpayers millions of dollars. And it's just sad. It's just sad that you would do this. They let a young lady go that worked at administration who had 5 kids. 5 kids. She's a single parent. Told her to pack her box and go home. It's sad that's what's going on in the school district. And I'm asking everybody to come out tonight at 6 o'clock at 6:40 Eastern to this special board meeting and ask the same questions I'm asking.
6:40 Eastern?
In Bellwood, Illinois.
Okay.
6:40 Eastern.
6:40
Eastern.
On Eastern and Bellwood.
Right.
It will be a meeting what time again?
At 6 o'clock.
At 6 o'clock.
You know, to come out and ask these questions as to what's going on. If anybody keeps up with the news, Governor Rauner has not signed the budget yet. So we don't even know what we're going to be cutting in all the school systems here. So why would you create over $300,000 in jobs? Here, I've never heard of this. It's irresponsible. Board members are voting on issues that I clearly don't think that they have the full understanding or the knowledge was given to them as to what they're voting on and why. They're just voting aye, which is sad. Because you take an oath. You take an oath when you're sworn in to guard the finances of School District 88. Make the best possible decisions you can make. These last couple meetings, these decisions are just absolutely wrong. They're just wrong. I mean, we have a young lady, and she was our liaison for the homeless. This young lady went out and secured coats, jobs. You know, she was taking parents for job interviews because they're homeless. She did all this. Never asked for reimbursement for her own car. She was doing this. She was sent home. Told her it's a reduction in force. Well, you can't have a reduction in force and create jobs. That's not the way it's done. If you're going to have a reduction in force, that means that you don't hire anybody else on board. You just don't do that. And I'm just asking the public, come out. These are your tax dollars. You know, we were accused of wasteful spending. About 20 residents, every board meeting, asking Ms. Hendricks to resign, you know, telling us we were useless board members. So you got a new board in. Who's wasting money now?
Mia.
Yeah.
So I tell you
Going
what,
on
you guys,
everywhere.
you got the information. If anybody want to ask you questions or maybe contact you, in case they, just want to know more about what you're talking about, is there an email or someplace where they can reach you?
mthurman@sd88.org.
Again.
mthurman@sd88.org.
All right, Miss Thurman, we want to thank you for taking an opportunity to stop in here with the cats. We're always open for people to kind of stop by the Cats Out show. The only thing you have to do is just you give at least 24 to 48-hour notice and see if we're available for you to stop in. And anybody who has a cat that they want to let out the bag about maybe if you were mistreated, in a grocery
Taking
store, or
gas.
maybe you got a problem with a utility company, or whoever it may be, and you want to come and let the cat out the bag. We're here to hear your story. If somebody let a cat out the bag on you and you want to come address the fact that, wait a minute, that was the wrong cat, that story is not the way that it go, we have a platform to give you an opportunity to come do the same. So again, it's the Cats Out show. We on Intellectual Radio, we on iHeart Radio, and we are on Facebook Live many a times, and we here ready to let the cat out the bag.
Yeah. Also, would like to tell everybody to go and shop at Fly and Flashy with Derek Watkins. He will have your stuff to your house in 2 days. Fly and Flashy Clothing. You can find him on Facebook, Derek Watkins.
Derek, this is all.
I've been lost, I've been tired, but I feel with desire. Somehow I know that it's all gonna change. Everything's gonna change. Big city lights, big city dreams. It's the sound of the city that wakes me. So many people living with the blues. So many things that I can tell you. I got this funny feeling that something's going down. I can almost hear the sound going boom, 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 going round. No matter what I do, no matter what I say, seems like no one is happy. People living without a voice. Seems like no one really has a choice. I feel free and lost at the same time.
All right, you guys, we're back. We're back. It's the Cats. We're on Internet Radio, and we're on Facebook Live many of times. And we first of all want to thank you guys for tuning in with us today. This has been a great show, as many, and we hope that the information we shared, that it actually, bless you guys and make you think. Or if it's somebody that was out there today and you really didn't know how to, conduct your household because you're living a Tasha or a ghost situation, one key thing that we want to say to you guys today is the way you run your household is your business. The best thing that you can do is keep other folks out your business. And if something that we said inspired you today to move forward, then let it be your decision. The next thing we want to say to those evildoers of the world is you got to be careful who toes you step on in this world, because you're always just one person away from your breakthrough, and you don't know who that one person may be, but you're always just one person away from needing treatment, and you want to hope that that's not the person that you mistreated. You can't take monies and foods out of people's houses and expect for them not to fight back. You cannot continue to be evil and corrupt in this season and think that it's not going to come back on you. So again, it's the Cats on Intellectual Radio. We on iHeart Radio, and we on Facebook Live many a times. We'll be back next week, and when we come back, we coming to let the cat out the bag. Meow. That's it.